hello everyone,
Hello.
and hello Marco, happy New Year to
Hello.
you, and happy New
Nice
Year
to meet.
to everyone. Yeah, so nice to see you
Wait.
here.
We have the voice here.
Okay. And then we
Okay.
can say hello. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, once again, Happy New Year to all of you joining us live here in the chat. And it's going to be a very fun one because today we have, as you can see, Marco Benedetti as our returning, and with that, the most frequent guest here at Musings by Masha. Most of you know that Marco wears many hats, with one of them being a card maker from Rome who specializes in the most incredible decks, restorations of historic decks and reproductions of them, and all handmade. Marco also happens to be one of my favorite card makers because of the exceptional quality of the decks that I have from him that you can see behind. So hello again to you, Marco. Buonasera and welcome back to my channel.
Buonasera.
Happy New Year. Yeah,
I lost the synchron.
Sorry?
I lost the synchro of the voice.
You lost my voice. Can you hear me now?
I hear your voice, but not in synchro with the lips.
Not
Yes.
syncing with the lips. It's probably because with YouTube and with StreamYard is slightly different. So if you want to see me syncing, then you watch on StreamYard because I think it's about 10-second delay with YouTube always. It's just part of the technology.
Yes. Okay. So, wait. I can put the window this way so I can see the comments and okay.
Yeah, so you can do two windows. That's why you can talk to me like live and then
it works. No,
yeah.
It works. So when we start,
Yes.
what we start?
What do we start with? Let's say quickly hello to everyone. Just a bit of housekeeping for everyone. We will say hello to you all. I will be highlighting hello with the banner, and then Marco and I will get chatting. And if you have any questions, please type them in the comments here in the chat, in the running chat. And then towards the end of the video, or towards once we kind of get through different parts of our chat, I will highlight all the comments. But firstly, let's say hello. And Marilyn was here first, nice and early. So Marilyn is the moderator now, just in case. So hello, Marilyn. And Cheryl is here as well. Hello to Lunch Blanc. Sebastian, yeah, I remember your name from Marco's Facebook, Sebastian. So hello, welcome. And Luna is here as well. All right, so Venus popping up in the moon. Yeah, good omen. Thank you so much for sharing this, Sebastian.
Sebastian is very happy because I sold him a prototype today, an hour ago.
Who is very happy?
Sebastian?
Sebastian is very... was it the prototype of the Eteia?
Yes.
I just saw like a second ago, yeah. And hello, Nikki. Genevieve and Ange. All right, so welcome everybody. So we better get chatting because we have a lot of ground to cover and a lot of decks to talk about. Look, Marco, while the title of our live is Handmade Decks of 2024, before we go back into last year, let's talk about the present, because the exciting thing that many of people in the chat, many of our friends have seen, that on New Year's Day, you announced the release of a very special tarot, your first tarot deck of 2025. So tell us everything there is to tell about it.
Yes, okay. But I'd like to start with a surprise.
Okay, surprise,
Surprise also
nice.
for you. Yes,
Mm.
because just today I received from Canada another deck. It was lost for 1 month around by UPS. I received this morning. So now I can make a fake unboxing. Of course, I unboxed that few hours ago, but I will put again in the box so I can show you a fake unboxing
And I will bring you
of
in
this
for
deck.
that.
I don't tell you what deck is this.
Okay, let me bring you in closer so everybody can see on a big screen. Isn't it exciting, guys? I'm so excited.
Here we have an Italian tarot with rivoltini.
Wow.
This is half deck because decks with rivoltini are very thick. Of course, yeah, the majors.
That's so amazing. Just look at the colors, eh?
Yes, very nice pastel colors and lovely.
Mm.
Fortunately, the backs are very damaged. See, it was probably glued on a book.
Yeah, and what's the name of the deck? Do you know?
The maker is Bordoni.
Bordoni.
Yes, it's a Milanese deck in the style of a dotti about. Yes, a different one. And well, I wanted a deck with rivoltini.
Yeah, can you bring?
I mean, outside of Japan, maybe the only one who makes rivoltino. Maybe someone else is making decks with rivoltini, but very few people do them. So I wanted to have one original deck.
Yeah, can you bring this
Actually, I'm
card
very happy
closer to camera?
because, sorry?
Can you bring this card a little bit higher, closer to camera, so we can see the Rivaltini? Nice.
It's not
Yeah, yeah,
easy to
perfect.
but you can see the
Mm.
border are overlapped there. You can see
Wow,
here the nail.
amazing.
You know how I'm very happy because well, it's similar to my cards because when I made my Mitelli or the Dallatore, I had no original to copy. So I use common sense to choose the thickness of the paper. Actually,
Mm.
my choice was correct because they are very similar. So
Yeah, it's
this is a
beautiful.
nice Italian deck. It's not something rare, but anyway, I want. And as I told you, show you how thick is the deck.
Wow,
I squeeze it because there is old, so is
Rivaltini.
yes occupy. But anyway, is about the decks I make, or maybe a little thicker. No,
Mm.
I'd say no. Wait, here I have the
You got your Mitelli there, yeah.
yes, I have the Mitelli. Well, it's about no,
About the same.
about the same. Considering this one is bent, so occupying more space. I'd say the thickness is the same. So I'm very happy for this.
That's
Also.
so amazing. Yeah.
So this is
But
the last has arrived in my collection. Uh,
yeah.
very happy
So
to.
this one would be the 19th century, right? From the 19th century Italy.
This is yes, the end. I'd say 1890s, 1880, something like this. I'd say probably one of the last deck made with Rivoltini. Because
Wow.
at the beginning of the 20th century, they stopped making decks this way.
That's
Okay.
so amazing. No, thank you so much for showing. But look, I'm excited now. Wait until the well, yeah. Question: Are you going to reproduce this deck? I love
I
the
hope
style of
so.
decks. You don't know,
I hope I can do it. Do it.
please.
For sure, I don't think there is anybody published a Bordoni. There are, of
No.
course, many similar decks, but so why not? I have no decks in this style in my catalog, so working with a deck in my collection is much easier. As I
No, but
told you
yeah.
about the Sarton and working with the original, is another thing. You can immediately compare the original with the what you have produced. Um, so I think it's a good idea to invest in decks that I can reproduce.
Hmm.
So I had the chance to do it. I did it.
No, yeah, I'm very excited about this one because I know that well, we talked a little bit about that. I really I love my Marseille tarot decks, but I love the Italian decks that
Mhm.
like, like Milanese, like similar to the one that you showed that follows that they're Italian in their like character and energy, but they follow Tarot de Marseille pattern, like with the swords being curved, the batons being crossed, and the cards are smaller. So like I'm very excited now, Marco, and I need I need Bordoni. And people in the
So you
chat,
want one?
yeah,
Okay.
people in the chat also said that absolutely the
Yes.
world cannot have Italian decks. But okay, so now I'm too excited. But anyway, so the first deck of 2025, can you tell us about it?
Where is that? I lost it. Here. Here it is. The next deck is the Sarton. Let's show the cards. The deck, honestly, are very similar to Van der Boer. I mean, the drawing. Then the border is completely different. You may like one or the other, just a different style. But honestly, the wood blocks are extremely similar. The deck is an amazing condition. Then I show you some
You show us the
theory.
original, yeah.
Of course, it is an ancient deck. You must use it carefully. But
Yeah.
okay, here we have the
Wow.
remove them from the box. Where is the yes? Just to compare,
Mm.
the copy is slightly brighter.
Yeah, it just more for the paper, but otherwise they look almost
Yes,
identical.
actually, I worked on the color of the paper.
Yeah.
I mean, I compensated. Well, it's complicated, but basically, is virtually untouched.
So
In
beautiful.
reality, using the slightly brighter paper, it came a little more brilliant. But it's
Mm.
still matte paper is not, of course, it's the same paper I use for the Marseille deck.
Mm.
Even if honestly the original is not on late paper.
Mm.
or maybe on or late paper with much subtle texture, maybe. But well, I think that this way the colors spread much better. So well, I made a little fake.
No, I mean, I don't know how you could have done any better from what I'm seeing, and the colors are. When you first shared the pictures on your Facebook, I thought the colors are just so amazing.
Yes, I'll show you
Can you
another.
show us the back of the original?
Yes, sure. The
You
back,
seem like it's pretty identical,
back
really, like on the camera.
is just a little brighter, the copy.
Mm.
Always it's let me put it better. This is the copy, which is slightly brighter as the front.
Wow.
This
Oh, that's so exciting.
so this is Capitan Fracassa.
And for the friends, in the chat who don't know, on the left, it's the original. How old is the original, Marco?
The original, well, the story is nice because according to our friend Ross Caldwell, who asked to to make some research, there were 3 Sarton. I don't remember the names, but the middle one was the widow of the first one. So the fact that there is no name on the card, as you have maybe noticed in the photos, I've seen the Sarton and is the space empty before. Well, maybe anyway, it's like the name of the author was erased. So Ross said that most likely it was this deck was made by the widow. So this should place the deck between 1743 and 1756, I think. So
Yeah.
basically around 1750.
Wow. Just, yeah. I can't even imagine. You see, like, I can't imagine having the tarot deck that is 250, 275 years old in your hands. The closest I got was in Pinacoteca di Brera in Milan, where I could view the Visconti,
Yes.
one of the Visconti decks, right? The Visconti Brambilla. And yeah, but I could only use the gloves, right? I couldn't do what you do in here, was just take the cards out and compare. Yeah, but show us some more cards. It's so exciting. I mean, I'm so excited for you and for us that we have access now to one.
Can make a flip through if you want. Let me.
Yeah.
No, where is the right direction? This one.
Oh, the other way, yeah, towards me, yeah, towards the mouse. Yeah, that's good.
But why is not should be automatic? But well, but yeah, l'espagnol Capitano Fracas, Imperatrice, Empereur,
Nice.
Bacchus.
I love Bacchus.
This is very similar to Vanderborg, for instance, this card. I mean, the woodblock. L'amour. Chariot. By side, it's different from.
Yeah, and one
Say.
was
Here we have Justice. Yes, quite traditional. hermit with a book instead of the lantern, I think, and brown, and with a capucine is brown and not blue or nice colors like sorry, like the Marseille. Rue de Fortune. Well, here. Force, this is exactly the same of Marseille, let's say, maybe in the direction. Le Pendu. Is Le Pen slot do make me think that the pendu like the punishment do. Well, anyway, it makes me something with French words distorted. I mean, do not do, but should be du and he. Pendu. But this is just an hypothesis on the name of the card. La Mort. So this is quite similar to Vanderboard.
But interesting, you see, interesting that, can you put back the death card? Death card, La Mort?
Yes.
What's interesting that the death, right, it has the name. In Tarot de Marseille, death card is nameless, no title. And in Vandenborg and in La Mort, we have name for the death card.
Yes, but also in many Italian decks, La Morte is written. It's more on French decks, I think.
Yeah, in Marseille.
At Rempans, this is slightly different because you see we have the cup in one end and the other on the ground, not one for the end. On the other hand, I don't understand what. Maybe a scepter, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a scepter, yeah.
Yes. Anyways, this is quite different from traditional temperance. Devil is, my opinion, is the best card in the Flemish tarot. It is. Sorry.
Best card. I like Devil and Flemish Terrace, but I also like the lover, like L'amour, love card, or the lover card a lot. Yeah, and I do love the world card as well in Flemish decks.
Yes. This is also nice. Is like Vieville with the food. Here, full Vieville line.
Nice. But the colors are so nice, and the quality is just, it's so sharp. The lines are very sharp, and stenciling is so good in the original, eh?
Yes, the original is in amazing condition. It is almost more than 250, 270 years.
No, true, and like it's just
really
like I can't
amazing.
even, yeah. And you have it in your hands.
Yeah.
But how was it for you? You know, most of your decks are the museum copies that you worked with scans. And how was it for you, the experience to work with the original deck?
Well, it was magnificent. Well, I made a scan, a print, and then I compared the original with the scan. Well, you can do this if you have not the original in your hand. I prepared the prototype of the deck that I'm now in the edition that is not changed, and I made in half day, including the time to scan, prepare the printing file. sent in print. It was perfect, and the first shot. So it's difficult if you have to use scanned image. It's different. It's another game, but what's important is that well, if I decide to make another edition, I don't have to ask anybody the permission. Or it's not a question of paying the duties, but just to say that you're not the the proprietor of the images. In this case, I even put the my copyright on the box just for fun, just because I can.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Because if
the
people
deck
want
is
to do
mine.
it,
Those
yeah.
images are mine. The maker is, of course, the deck is in public domain. The images are mine. Like I mean, if I put the copyright of British Museum, I can put mine. Same situation. So this is really nice as idea. It's a little expensive, of course, but well, it was possible, and I did.
Yeah. And because the deck in such a like incredible condition, you didn't have to make many adjustments, did you? Like when you were reproducing, what
You know,
changes have you done? Like
I just
major changes?
well, when I restore a deck in good condition, I just take everything inside the frame and I paste on a bigger frame centered with the background color I choose. If you want, if I take a card,
Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. I'll bring you back in
I
and
I cut everything outside here. I take
yeah.
this, everything this. Then I paste this image centered in image this size with the
Mm-hmm.
background color this. This is the easiest way to prepare for a deck for print if it's in good condition. So you remove the borders. If you take the scanned image, you see the border, and the ancient cards are rarely well centered. So in this way, you can center the images. But for the rest, everything inside the border is untouched. I also, well, I'll go ahead for two cards. Almond is one of the most beautiful, you're right.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
full. I love the colors of the full.
Yes, the full,
It
this
just
is
shows how
like,
beautiful the colors of
this is
Saturn.
back here. You can see this stain here, is
Mm.
light brown dot. This is the bigger stain I found in the majors. At this point, I said, why I have to remove this one? It's not that disturbing. So I decided to leave it untouched. I don't know, you can agree or not, but that's
No,
how I.
I agree. I agree because it doesn't take away from the card. It's not like a part of the card is missing or whole. I think this actually add this old character to the cards and make them more authentic. And I love the aged feel of the cards. That's why we love historic decks for those aged look.
Mhm.
Oh, I do for sure. Yeah. And also, Marco, a couple of my friends, when you showed the cards on your Facebook page, and Facebook page, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with Marco's decks, this is the Facebook page, but it also is linked for you in the description for you to click. But a couple of my friends, they kind of talked around, and you mentioned it as well, that Sarton is very similar to Vandenborg when it comes to the woodblock or images, if not identical. But have you spotted any differences between the Vandenborg and the Sarton apart from the borders?
No, no.
No?
The deck, I remember our friend girl asked me twice, because it was tempted that the guy also is Dutch, so is personally interested in a Flemish deck, I imagine. And I told him, but it's so similar to Van der Border. I told him, yes, honestly, yes. Except for the border. The border is completely different, but images are extremely similar. I cannot deny this.
Yeah, well, I
But
noticed, you know what I noticed? I can tell you. You posted on Tarot History, I think you posted a while back, I think it was is it 4 of coins with the coat of arms?
yes, this is
And I
different, of
noticed
course.
it's different because I remember in Vandenborg it's
Yes,
a
of course.
lion.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
so
course, is
that's
another
the
card maker.
difference.
Is another card maker, of course. So this is the card.
Yeah, I'll
Say,
just bring the cards in, yeah.
mm,
And
well,
have you,
here
Igor,
the card I told you
show
before,
again?
the Sarton. You see the space before Sarton here. Probably it was the name of the husband. I don't remember now the name. It was the original car maker. Then when he died, the widow continued for a few years before leaving the company to the son in 1756, as I told you. These are the particularity of this deck. If you want, it's interesting that more likely it was made by a woman. For a deck in 16th centuries now is not so common. Yes. And if you go for dating, yes, and I think this deck is older than Van den Boer. Not for the dating as I mean, Wonderboard is 1780, I think.
Well,
Sorry,
you see,
I don't
like
remember.
Vandenborg is
So
interesting,
it's
yeah,
30
because
years, it's not many years. But I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
this border is older. The border of Vanderborg is more modern, more beautiful, if you want. I like more the border
No,
of Vanderborg.
you
You don't?
like Vandenborg border more? No, I like this border more.
I
I
like
find this one is more adorable. I like cute things, and this one is adorable.
No, I think the Sarton or the Gizen, there's one, the Gizen, that is very similar also to this, is for sure older than Van der Boer. I personally like the checkered line, but this is a question of matter of personal taste.
Yeah, no, I like the Sarton. I like the little triangles, like zigzaggy things.
No, but it's beautiful. It has somewhat an idea of Italian cards with Rivoltini. Because, for instance, yes, there are cards with Rivoltini with a border similar to this. No, but it's a lovely border. I'm not saying that it's a bad deck.
Yeah.
Simply, if you ask me if similar to Van der Boer, I say yes. I cannot say it's different except for the border.
Well, yeah, woodblock wise, like, yeah, I agree. But I'm a linguist, because I love my languages. I also notice the spelling is different. Like in some cards, the spelling is
Yes.
incongruent. So yeah, that's one thing as well. The coat of arms, but also we don't really have like a handmade Flemish tarot. I mean, probably from Tarot Sheet Revival, we have a couple of those, but Vandenborg and Sartoon, like I haven't heard of other Belgian decks being handmade and available to
Well,
public.
I said that we haven't heard of any Flemish tarot to cure. I know of now Sarton, Van der Borg. We have Pablo edition, which is beautiful. The old one is not so beautiful, the vintage one. Then we have Eastman's. I think he make a couple of Belgian decks.
Yeah, the Baudet, like Gerard Baudet, Bodet.
Baudet are
Yeah,
two.
and Atto. Yeah, and Atto. Yeah.
So we are talking about 4 decks. Then
Yeah.
I know as I wrote in my page, I was almost ready to publish the Gizen, which is another deck with a border similar to the Sarton. Then I saw this one in the auction. Say no, I want the original, much better.
Yeah.
Actually, it was easier to make all the work on Sarton than what I to finish the Gizen. Of course, I have to work with the original, not on the copies.
Yeah.
And this
I'm very,
is all. I know of 5 decks. For sure, there are more. Maybe if we ask to Guido, I think he can be more precise on other decks. I'm sure there are more, but this is decks I know. Then, if you want, well, okay, it's similar. Most Tarot de Marseille are similar each other. Is a pattern.
yeah, it is.
There are decks that are particularly different. I mean, Madenier or Bourdelle, which are the best, in my opinion, in type 2, are outside the crowd. I mean, but for the rest, they are more or less, yes, this one has a better emperor, this one has a better popes, but Tarot de Marseille are almost the same. But it's a pattern, different interpretation of the pattern. And that's okay. We accept it for Marseille decks. I mean, I have, I think, 16 decks made by Yves. And I'm not alone. I think many of the people who are listening now, I see you also under, yes, many of so they are similar, but this is not a problem in collecting them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because many of us like to compare them, like I'm one of the people, like I like to see little differences, just like one of the interests of mine. Yeah. But now that you have showed the Sarton, and before we go to the decks that you made, do you have any other original historic decks that you can share with us?
Yes, I have the Gasman who arrived a few days ago. This is the Gasman. Originally was completely bent, now it's much better. You can see. I can shuffle a deck.
No, not this one. Not the original, Marco.
It's not sold. I wouldn't do with the Sarton, but this is 1850. It's not sold. And well, it's a lovely deck. Actually, Gasman has many editions. I think Patrick Valenza made one. Yves, of course, Yves one is one of his best decks, in my opinion. It's very, very well done. But this has a different palette. I mean, the version used by Yves here, this sort of, it's not, it's violet, gray, brown, it's not clear what is. In Yves' version is green. He's playing in his notes that there are many versions of the Gasman, so choose one. Hopefully, it's different from the one I found. So it's possible to make a facsimile different from the one available.
And the back is very nice. And Sebastian is also saying, oh, the pink back is really nice. And these ones look in very, like, in also exceptional condition.
Yes, this is a good condition. Not the backs. The backs are really perished, but the front are in good condition. I'm tempted to leave untouched also these, but really I just scanned the image. I didn't work on this, of course. They
Yeah.
arrived 3 days ago.
The blues are very pretty.
Yes, this strong blue is flashing a little, and the woodblock are very nice. Faces are expressive, and I say that the line are in good condition. They are not very well aligned, but the stencils, but I've seen much better, much worse. So I'd say it's an interesting deck. Of
Yeah.
course, it's not so ancient. This the middle of 18th century. For instance, you can see it's not engraved, but is typographic letters. For instance, but these are still word blocks. And I'd say, well, not colored, not bad. This is one of the different cards in the Swiss tarot, which is both feet, hanging on both feet. Because the Swiss is similar to Marseille, but with few cards more on Besançon style. Namely, where is this one? The
Yeah,
devil.
hairy devil. I love Swiss devils. They're cute. And the imps are adorable.
Yes, it's funny, really funny, this devil. But for instance, L'Etoile, the star is in TDM and not in Besançon style. In Besançon style, the leg is not this shape, but is a square angle here. Also, the moon is different in Besançon is midway with type 1 with the alpha, the frontal. This is a classic TDM2. These flames are nice.
It's a beautiful sun card. Yeah, I think Gasman has a very nice sun card for sure.
Judgment is very classic, while here we have the legs like in type 1. So the Swiss tarot has this difference, somewhat midway with Besançon and Marseille. More on Marseille, of course, because Pope and Popes. Anyway, I love this color, which is very strange. It's not violet, or maybe it's a dark, dirty violet. I have to try with filter with remove the dirt or what came out. But I'm tempted to leave this deck untouched because it's lovely. And when we have it on modern paper and you're not afraid to ruin, I think this should be lovely to use it. This colors.
Yeah, very nice. I like light blues, like they're very nice in this tarot.
Yes. These are in Besançon style, the cups.
Yeah, they're just a little bit more embellished. They're fancier. Yeah.
I go quick on the.
Yeah, especially the Ace of Cups here, very beautiful.
Yes, let's stop on the two, which is beautiful.
Mm.
And the ace again in Besançon style.
Mm.
Then we go in Marseille style, all these cards. Also, the page of coins is Marseille and not in Besançon. It's beautiful, this light blue.
Yeah, that's the color that stands out to me, especially.
And faces are expressive. Gasman is well known. I mean, it's not by chance that many people has made a Gasman, because it was a nice deck. No, this is the buttons again in Besançon style.
But how is the paper, Marco? The original paper, how does it feel? How can you describe it?
This paper is thin. Is not like the ancient deck. This is 18th century. This is not late paper. It's slick, and it's quite thin.
Yeah. And it's like traditionally it's two sheets of paper glued together, right? It's front paper and back paper.
Yes, in this case, I don't think it's two sheets. I think
Okay.
they were in one sheet.
Mm.
I think, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so because you were saying about like you reproducing the deck, so Sebastian says that you should leave it untouched, and Cheryl also says that I hope you leave it untouched and do a straight
I
facsimile.
no doubt that Cheryl would say this.
You knew Cheryl would say
She's
this?
right. I said I think I'll do a flat facsimile. Also,
But because it's so good, because you see,
much
like
less work.
Sartor is so good. Like, why do you need to change
Yes,
anything?
much less work.
Which just work as well. See?
Why should I work to restore it if everybody's, oh, I like it so dirty? No, seriously, I think leave it this way. Faces are
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, we all love the backs as well. Like
Yes.
backs. Yeah, the faces are very nice in Gasman, yeah.
Here we have the name written here, while in Besançon usually is on the box down. Not always, but more likely. Coins are always the same. Again, the
I love the little details, like it's really beautiful.
these are cannons or sceptre.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Possibly sceptre because we have a crown here.
Yeah, it's probably a reference to some kind of a coat of arms of somebody at the time, yeah.
The title card, Genève, Cartier Genève.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
And you can see the deck is not so thick.
Yeah, in comparison with the Bordoni that you showed on the beginning.
Bordoni is almost double. Bordoni is almost double.
Double, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Bordoni, of course. And these are the main addition I made. Also, got a small minchiate, possibly one of the last minchiate made for playing and not for divination, not for collection.
Can we see? Because this year I'm all about minchiate, and I would love you to prioritize, and please don't hate me, my friends, the minchiate.
Well, these minchiate are lovely. Actually, are very similar to a deck made by Meneghello decades ago. These are the cards.
Let me just bring them in. Yeah, I'll bring you. I'll bring you closer. Yeah. Yeah.
They're not in order. Also, this one is amazing condition. The same collector who owned the Sarton.
And do you know the name of the card maker? Or how we can refer to the deck? The title of the deck?
The card maker, I think, is Solesio.
Solesio, yeah.
Is one of the famous card maker. There's a problem in this deck. You know that the last cards have the red. What is the red background?
Yeah.
Last 8 or 6, I don't remember. Well, this deck, this one should be red. Where is? And it's not. While I don't know, let me find one. This is correct. So it's a deck with a mistake that is annoying for me, because having this one between sun. This, understand what I mean? This should be with a red background. This
the red. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like orange and red. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me find.
I don't know, but for this reason, I don't know. There are 8 cards with the red background, but the 2 are wrong. So
I'll just quickly bring myself in because I have here. Hold on. Let me just close the solo. Just a second. So I have your minchiate here just for people to explain while they see the cards. You see, like the sun has the red background, right? Then we see the judgment card or the angel at the time, and then you see the world card.
Yes.
Supposed to be see like the red background. That's what Marco is talking about, right? So 3 cards, they supposed to have the colored background. Yeah.
So it's a little annoying, this, but probably sooner or later I'll make it. But I have many decks in line.
Yeah, but I really need minchiate.
I remember 1 year ago I spoke on Levy, maybe with you, I'm not sure, talking of project for next year. And I spoke of decks that I still have here in my side table, decks that I'm ready to put in production. That
you want to share? You want to talk about that?
I mean, I was almost ready to publish a deck. Boy started the train Eteia. I mean, making Eteia is not one. Is an important deck. There are things that catch you in time and in the end. Then I had the occasion to unexpected. I couldn't imagine that the opportunity to make the Madenier. Then I obtained the the files, the images, of course, I make immediately the Madeni. I have the, where is Dex ready? Not.
Yeah, so the deck that you made in last year, right, in 2024.
1 year ago, I made this one.
Yeah. Was it the first one that you made in 2024?
I'm saying that 1 year ago, I had this deck and others ready to be published.
Okay.
But I was overwhelmed by unexpected works. For instance, I was ready to publish these decks, but somebody put me the idea, why don't you make the Eteia? Then I found that image, I realized that I could recreate the original Eteia. Was an important project. So I had this deck ready to publish, but it was the 17th Tarot de Marseille. Eteia was more important. I made the Eteia, and this remained here. I had Angelo Valla ready too. It's a beautiful deck. I want to do it. It's 1 year.
I want you to do it.
I know that you want. I was ready. Then I got the chance to make the Levy. Now, the Levy was unexpected. I mean, I knew that it was an important deck, but I couldn't imagine to receive 50 orders in 36 hours. It was
No.
incredible.
It deserves it. It deserves it.
Hey, I am difficulties now. I mean, I'm making maybe 10 packages per day, and so after making 10 packages, preparing and shipping documents, packing, checking the cars one by one, you exit with crossed eyes. You want only a bed. In the meantime, I received 12 orders for new decks. Of course, I'm very happy many requests, but now I have about 30.
Oh, this is a treasure. I
Yes,
love it.
now I have 30 decks in line for shipment. People have sent me the money. So,
And
guys,
that's the
I have
second edition, right? Second.
Yes, I ship
Yeah.
first out. Give me the time, but I feel a little guilty. But I cannot do anything against this. I mean, I'm a part-time one-man band. Cannot make things impossible. So you say what I do is I also have to consider that I cannot continue to make ship 10 decks per day. I mean, I have a job, I have a company to run. It's not
I know.
a job, a normal job. It's a difficult job. I have enough time to make that. If the problem is shipping, making the decks is not a big problem. I make a procedure. It's quite quick. The making, selling, shipping. This is a problem. I don't know. I can continue to do this because, of course, I cannot afford a person who makes shipping for me because completely the business plan, let's say, that doesn't work. It works with a one-man band. So I really don't know what to do because I'd like to make 20 decks per year. But I also know that cannot continue like the month of December.
Yeah.
So now maybe I have to.
But you see, like, I think with the Eliphas Levy. So would you say that Eliphas Levy has been your most requested deck, like the most popular, like the most orders you've received?
Well, considering the short time, for sure.
Yeah.
If you speak about the sales, The bestsellers are Chelsea's. Especially remember when I put at the beginning on the game crafter. Then I removed because I didn't like the deck with the white band on the side, because the aspect ratio is not good for Italian cards. I remember the first day I sold 25 on the game craft. It was a big number. Also, I sell many weird on MPC. Because I have a smart edition is 44 cards, both the decks, the 1889 and 1926, of course without gold. But if you want gold, you can make it, but only by hand. And this is the best selling on MPC. I sold a lot of minchiate. I made my edition 50 copies, and I sold well, it was more than more than 1 year, but I sold all of them. But I shipped 50 in Japan. I made a special edition for the Museum of Japan, the shop.
This minchiate, right?
Yes, this minchiate here. So this I sold 100 copies. This well, and now I sold about 80 copies of Levy's, and I started 20 days ago. Yes, so it's going to be the bestseller, of course.
Yeah, but I think Levy, you know what's special about Levy, that it's kind of, I think it's sort of for the wider tarot market, if you will, because tarot collectors really love the set because you included the original cards that were drawn by Eliphas Levy himself. You included the Alouette cards. You included those extra esoteric cards. So the collectors absolutely love it. People who are into occult tarot and esoterics, that's the origin, right? Like that's the Bible. And people who like very beautiful Tarot de Marseille decks, right? We have a Bernardine Suzanne inside of this deck as well.
Yes.
So, like, I think because it just kind of covers such a wide group of tarot enthusiasts, right, with different interests. I think that's why probably it's so popular, but also how you made it. I mean, it's definitely a collector item. It's like a museum item.
Yes,
So,
it's like I try to do it. If you notice the difference between the box and, for instance, the païenne, you see the border of the box. This box border are much wider. No, here.
this one here.
Where is here?
Yeah.
These are much wider. That's why I wanted to make this book about the same size of the two photo booklet hosting the original. It's about, of course, not the millimeter, but I mean, I made it bigger just to recall this deck. This one is a blue skin. The cover, the original. This, of course, is paper, but it's blue with something.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of metallic sparkles. Yeah, and with two albums, because you know, most of us is like me. I butcher French. Can you pronounce these names of these two albums?
La clavicule de Salomon, le Perrotet de Rosecroix.
Okay. All right, friends. So that's how we have to say it. Yes. Yeah, so in 2024, do you have like a record? How many decks you made in 2024?
Well, this is the last. Mitelli was the first, of course. I remember 1st of January I presented the Mitelli. This is the Mitelli with with the Rivoltini. These are the two more luxurious. Then we have the Eteia, of course. And this is nice because today I posted about the back of this deck that I made a prototype 1 year ago, the first prototype, with the same back used in the Netflix series 100 Years of Solitude. They have the back that this one. I don't think they knew my back because I didn't publish it. I got this from a detail of the plateau of the cards where this deck was mounted. Anyway, this is the prototype I made that I didn't release. Then I made this back. This more in no, not this one, of course. More classic. If you want more philologic, because this one is taken from a frame of the yes, it's the special Sebastian edition, this one. Then I had the problem printing this version. I mean, the prototype came out okay, but printing 20 copies, the black was damaged, like the printing drama went to what? I don't know. Anyway, I changed the I changed the back, and so I have this prototype. Then today I sold to Sebastian. Then what I make? I also make the few copies of the Petite Teia. You know, this was small decks.
Yeah.
One of the many Petite Teia available. Made few copies of this for people who asked.
Yeah, I don't have your Eteia.
What?
I don't have the Eteia from you. Do I need one?
Why? Then, of course, Madenia.
Modenia, yeah. I love my Modenia. Yeah, but show us some cards if people haven't seen your handmade one. So layout. I actually do have walkthroughs for people, you know, like if you want to see, like this is one of my favorite decks. So
Madenia, yes, this is another flat facsimile. The files from the museum are very good, so I made a very, very little work on this. Then, of course, I made the Vieville, maybe the most underestimated of my decks, while I think is one only one the deck I made better, one of my best as a realization. You have a problem with the light here, with reflection. Okay. No, the light is too strong here. No. No.
yeah, without the light is better.
No, but it's
Camera not focusing.
no, it's not taking the focus. Understand why? Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes you have to move it around and then it will focus on the movement.
Yes, this is a little clean, the respect. It's not flat. The Vieville. Well, you know, when you restore, it's just a matter of taste. You decide how much you clean. Of course, I think I made the right quantity, as all the other people who made this deck think they took the right choice. Anyway, this is the Vieville. We don't need to see a Vieville. It's just this maybe is the yes, the least successful decks. Maybe. Maybe. And then, of course, the big the Modrone.
Your personal Madrona is so beautiful.
Yes. Well, I'm proud of the Modrone. Yes.
I'm proud for you and of you. It's really magnificent. Yeah, just the colors, how you did it. The backs. Can you show the backs as well? Because they are just absolutely magnificent. Yeah.
Yes, this is made with sponge and paint. So it is a big sheet for all the for 6 cards. So it's not no, it's not the same. And of course, you have to have the nerve to use the cards from Visconti Sforza, because I repeat, I said the same thing when I showed this sleeve. If you try to make from scratch new cards for decks like this, you always make something that doesn't work. You see the difference. I mean, people much better than me can try. Scapini is an amazing artist. Atazanov, the one who made the decks for Lo Scarabeo, is a terrific artist. But if you put their cards beside the original, for me at least, there's something missing. So the only solution is to use other cards if possible. In this case, I used the card from Visconti. In one case from where is this one from Ercole d'Este Temples, because I don't consider Visconti cards the 6 later card of Visconti Sforza. This is another story. This is Visconti modified. The Visconti Sforza c'è di 90 over it. This is bigger with a new background.
Yeah. And I also wanted to let people know that
Sorry?
I wanted to let people know, I don't remember when, last year, a few months ago, you and we had a live chat about the personal Madrone, and we went through all of the cards. So if you are interested in Marco's Madrone, I will share the link after we finish here. But because we shared, like Marco shared everything in detail, right, about each and every card we went through. So I will link that live for you, because it's very easy to if you're interested in this deck.
Okay. So I just go through these cards. This when I made these cards, I realized that maybe it was possible to make a good remake of Modrone, because it's an amazing devil, and we was able to adapt it. It's a fresco, of course, big fresco, and adapt it to the frame, and it worked. This is thanks to our friend Alexandra, who found this this image. She had an incredible idea, and of course, you have to modify a lot, because it was too long. Then we have the sky here. But anyway, it's strongly modified, but the I got an incredible input from Alexandra here.
It's a good result. Yeah. Well, Michael is saying the same. The Devil and the Tower card are really, really great. Yeah. Good choices, good interpretation.
Thank you. And these are the three cards that I originally used. The painting of these three cards are the one I used for my Visconti homage card, corresponding cards. And then remember, these cards have used the original for the Modrone.
Hold on, can you leave the three celestial cards for a moment on the side, Marco? I'm just looking from your personal Madrona just to show people. Can you bring back the star, the sun, and the moon, please?
Sorry?
Can you bring back your personal Madrona, the Venus, the Diana, and Apollo?
Here?
Yeah, so I just wanted to show you, show people. You see that that's what your personal Madrona, your personal Visconti deck. Look how beautiful it is and shiny.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, so that's why I wanted to show your inspiration and consistency between the decks. But how pretty these cards are, hey? Okay, all right, continue.
Then we have the Judgment, beautiful. Maybe the most beautiful word ever made.
It's my favorite. Yeah, you know, in my top tarot trumps, the world card, your world card from here was one of my favorites.
And this is it was a collage work. It's a work midway between Visconti Sforza in my personal Visconti and Charles Sissa. This is a midway. I mean, Modrone has 69 cards, so miss a lot of cards, but we have a strong structure, and the cards from Visconti Sforza, which are enough similar. So it's not a complete patchwork like Charles Sissa, which are different styles and so on. So this was this is the next. Which one this?
The Madrone, I think personal Madrone.
And let me see here. No, yes, this is what I made this year. One deck I like to make, another deck I was ready to make and publish, and I didn't because I was busy with the decks. Is this one? This is the remake of Mitelli by Barattini.
Does it also have Rivaltini?
It's woodblock and not copper engraving. It has the 4 Moors, yes, 4 gorgeous 4 Moors. And the images are mirrored, not the 4 Moors that are not there, of course. But the other images are mirrored in respect to the Mitelli because it was copied from this. And it was made by a descendant of the count who ordered the Mitelli. Say 100 years later, his descendant asked this Barattini to make a replica. This is beautiful. The colors of the cards. There's this violet. These are really, really elegant.
And this one, Marco, does it have Rivaltini as well, like your other Mitelli?
Well, I made a copy with Rivaltini with this. I tell you, people was not so happy to pay a double price or so for a deck with Rivoltini, with Mitelli. Many people told me, please, can you make also a version without? I said, no, in this case, no, because I have to remake the drawing from scratch because we put the yellow borders. It was not feasible, but many people was not so happy. I mean, I'm tempted to make it with Rivoltini because I think it's much nicer, but it's going to cost the double. So I have to think. And again, if we speak about where is where I put it? Is my new deck, the Bordoni with the
Bordoni, yeah.
Rivoltini. This is mine. I can do what I want. I can make an edition and then say, okay, today I make 10 copies with Rivoltini, first in, first out. Say, I can do it.
And I have copy number 2.
I can do it with the Barattini. With Barattini, I have to ask the British Museum the permission for a number of copies at a fixed price. I have to say in advance, okay, I can pay the right for 100 copy, only make 20 and make. It's not the way it works. So with decks of museum, it's difficult to make the double version with or without Rivoltini. The Bordoni, yes, I think it's possible. At least a prototype with Rivoltini, for me, I'll do it. If someone asks it and want to pay it, I will be happy to make it, of course. Then what else?
So we had, you made this year Etelas, you made Modenier, Mitelli, Personal Madrone, Eliphas Levy, right? 5? Reveal 6?
6.
6.
Yes,
Okay.
it's 6. Yes, these are the 6 deck I made. Then,
And yeah, and for your plans for next year, so what can we expect? Can you like share what's on your like top list, priority list to make, or you're not sure yet?
well, at the moment, I just announced the Sarton. So now I'll make the Sarton. Then, as you probably know, I have to make a few copies of the Constantinople.
Yeah.
You have something to do with this.
Oh, I love it so much. Me, like loving
Yes.
Rider-Waite Smith, but yeah, I have a video so people can see up close. But these cards are so amazing. I mean, how they look in the light, they just come to life, right? And for me, you know, like when I do readings for myself and for my journals and stuff, I take lots of photos of the cards, you know, and they just so beautiful. And the backs are very pretty. My favorite teal color. Yeah. So you have to make a few of those.
Yes, I've got at the moment I think 12, 15 requests. It's totally unexpected because I showed this deck more than 1 year ago, and except Cheryl, who asked immediately a deck, nobody wanted. I sold, I think, maybe 6 copies on MPC. So not a successful deck.
Well, yeah, it's beautiful, and also what's different?
Well, I'm happy of this deck. You know the story of the heretical decks. I call the Rider Wise decks. I first make the facsimile of the De Laurence decks for my friend Farrell. And then, but really joking, while chatting, I mean, chatting with Farrell, a few of her friends, I was chatting and playing with the editor. So I was sending image. Oh, what do you think of this? And playing with the filters, I made what then became the Roman Tarot. which I think is one of the best deck I've made, except that is not how I think a tarot deck should made. I mean, you know the colors of the deck where the tie colored, I mean the Minchiate or the Rolichon or my personal deck, the I like this equilibrium of colors. While the Roman Tarot is a deck strongly channeled on yellow. I have here a Roman Tarot just to show what are we talking about. So if you want the same type of filter used for the Constantinople, basically. Then,
But I like Constantinople more.
sorry,
I like Constantinople more than this Roman colors.
I don't understand the question.
No question. I'm just saying that you shown this is the Roman Tarot.
This is Roman.
Yeah, but I like Constantinople more.
Yes, of course. I know that you like. I like it more. This one too. I'm showing you this deck, and I think is. I shouldn't say, but I think it came out beautiful. But is channeled on a color. In this case, yellow. Then we have the Zabriskie point, which is more on orange and violet. Anyway, there's people who like these decks. For instance, Feral who loves these decks, but it's not how, in my opinion, a deck should be made. Then I made many of these, just for playing. Also because Feral asked me this deck, I make for that. Then I realized that the Roman was based on the De Laurence tarot. Was a started filtered a channeled deck. De Laurence it was the yellow version, so obviously channeled on yellow. Then variation, well, I used tricks. And this here I used the standard RVS, the standard Rider Smith, obtaining these different backs, more dramatic, I'd say. I think this is a deck. I don't read with this kind of decks. I'm horrified by decks with chance in pips. But if you are perverted and like to use chance in pips, I think that this is a deck that works very well for reading. For what I understand of reading with these decks, of course, because I was able to put some drama like in the Roman Tarot, but respecting an equilibrated spread of color. I'm not sure you see that we have not a prominent color like the Roman. So for this reason, I think that this is I mean, if you ask me, a universal reading deck in this style, in red and white, I'd say this is a deck that I suggest to you. While I shouldn't suggest the Roman unless you want a deck channel legend for a certain kind of reading. It's not
For me,
complicated.
this one is beautiful. It's a perfect Rider Smith for me. Well, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
So, Sarton, now we have to make a few copies of Constantinople. And what's next? What can we expect next from you in 2025?
Well, sooner or later, I want to make the Barattini, the fake Mitelli. This one is lovely. I want to make it. And I think I make soon at least the Bordoni. The Bordoni is not easy like the Sarton. Sarton was in perfect condition. I told you in half day I made the prototype. Sorry, Bordoni will be much more work, but I think I will do it because a deck I like, and of course, I have good reason to do it. It's mine.
No, but also like not only because like I mean it's yours and you have like how you manipulate it and it's yours, but also because in your I guess in your what do you call it in your portfolio, right? If you look at the decks, we don't have anything like that, do we? Like we don't have that style of Italian tarot deck from you, and we need it.
I lost your voice.
You lost me for a minute.
What you don't have of mine?
Yeah, no, like how you have a portfolio of decks,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So you
but
have the illuminated tarots, you have a few
what
tarots.
missing?
Missing! Bordoni is missing.
Bordoni. Oh, yes.
Bordoni is missing. Yeah, more like a Milanese, like,
Nice.
well, I
Okay.
call it roughly, wrong name, Italian Tarot de Marseille, like when it's very Italian, but also it's inspired by the pattern of Tarot de Marseille.
Yes, no, Mitelli is not, I think it's nothing to do with this style. No, I think it's more, I think the Bolognese Tarot, the Milanese Tarot is more, well, it's Marseille re-imported in Italy. So, and you have some influence more from Torinese, Piemontese, in my opinion. Oh, I've seen Nobuyo.
Yeah, yes, she's saying hello. Yeah, I was about to type, but yeah, you can say hello as well. Yeah, yeah.
I love Nobuyo. You know why? Because she refers shuffle. I love
Yes.
people.
So you love me? Are you saying you love me?
I love you too. In fact, I also refer shuffle.
Yeah, because we have people like Alexandra, she's horrified, when I do refill shuffle. Yeah, I have to make like a special announcement. Close your eyes, take a few breaths.
Marilyn was asking, yes, the Barattini is a remake of the Mitelli 100 years later by a descendant of the Count, I don't remember who ordered the Mitelli originally. Is a wood block and not copper plates, and mirrored because they copied the original Mitelli. And it's a tarocchino, and of course I made 78 cards.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
In your opinion, doesn't it's worth making the where is I show it before the Bernardine Suzanne after making the Levy, which is based on the same deck?
Well, if you ask me, I think yes, because I like Tarot de Marseille decks, and I think Bernardine Suzanne is a very, how I think Pierre Madenier is the most beautiful Tarot de Marseille. I think Bernardine Suzanne, out of later Tarot de Marseille decks, because we're talking about this one is 1709, 1839, so like 130 years later. It's one of the sweeter ones. So like I vote yes. But for people on the comment, what do you think? Do you think Marco should make Bernardine Suzanne without Eliphas Levy's, Bernardine Suzanne Tarot de Marseille?
Explain one thing. Of course, say every deck you say yes, do it. Take in mind that I cannot make it.
No, I tell you,
if I make this, I will not make another one.
No, but
this is the point. Is a deck that deserves to be in the first position because there are
my number one. My number, but you see, I'm very biased and I'm very selfish.
Number one is
for people in the chat, also please tell us, right? But for me, I would love to see the Bordoni as my number one. Priority number two, I would love to see the handmade Mink, one of the two. So that's for me. Number three, yes, I would like to see a Tarot de Marseille, and I think it would be Bernardine Suzanne. And number four would be Gasman. But for people in the chat, what do you think?
Let me see what they see.
Are they not saying anything? Well, you see, Cheryl saying yes. Do Bernardine Suzanne without Levy's scratchings. So Bernardine Suzanne, that's my vote and Cheryl's vote for Bernardine Suzanne. And Sebastian is saying yes also. But you probably can see the comments, right, Marco? I don't know why it doesn't want to highlight. Yeah.
What inspired you regarding the color? Which deck? It's very electric. Marilyn.
That was the Constantinople, Marco. Marilyn was asking about the Constantinople colors.
The back,
The back also was Constantinople, I think. The beautiful.
well, the back is rose and lilies filtered. The same filter about used for the front. If she's speaking about the back.
Yeah, you see Cheryl saying Baratini and Bordoni first, and Marilyn is thumbs up. I think Marilyn is, yeah, that's the, yeah. So yes, right. I know the next question you don't like because you don't really, you're not a fan of what's your top three favorites game? So, friends in the chat, no, we're still gonna, well, you don't have to play along, but
It's really deprecable, this okay. You want the number three or what?
Oh, no, can I? Well, yeah, I'll just say, like, I'll give a minute. So we will talk, but I'll just explain to our friends in the chat. So I'll give them a minute to think. So
Okay.
imagine, like, Marco Benedetti's tarot decks have entered Olympics. And the Olympics, we only can have bronze, silver, and gold medal. And the gold will be the deck of the year, right? So signifying the deck of the year. So our friends in the chat, if you can just, you can do it. I guess you can do the ranking based on your collection, all of the decks from Marco, or only decks from this year. I will do my decks from this year, gold medal will be the deck of the year. So if you can just share, so pretty much share your top three tarot decks that you absolutely love and use from Marco Benedetti. And if you don't know how to do it, just imagine, like, we have a novice to tarot, right? A person comes to you, like a friend of yours, who is like, I don't know anything about historic decks. I can only afford 3 decks. I want 3 decks from Marco. And I know that Marco, I'm saying 3 also because if you ship 1, 2, or 3 decks, the shipping cost is the same. So that's why we have 3. So which decks you would recommend first? Like a person, okay, I can only buy 1, or I want to buy 3. And I would love to hear from you, friends, in the comments, and from you, Marco. Or if you want to skip this question, I will begin.
No, I can give you a reply to this question. Well, speaking of the work, I'm not speaking about my feeling versus a deck or another. For me, it's difficult. Well, maybe the Levy is the most important because it's important. The deck. I mean, there are not so many personal deck of person or the importance of Levy. So it's a almost unique deck. Having the chance to restore this deck is something important. So I mean, it's not the deck I love more the Levy, but I think speaking of the deck of the last year is for sure more important. The one I love more is the Modrone. Modrone was really a story of love, because for all my life I've played with these cards. I made the first remake of Visconti's Forza. I mean the missing cards maybe 20 years ago. So it's my game, and I always thought that Modrone was too difficult to complete. Then things go by steps. For instance, at the point I realized that the main particularity of the Modrone is the 6 core card per suite. And I noticed that we have the 4 female page and 3 out of 4 female knights. I said, oh, at least this female Knight of Cups. I reverted, I think, the one of Cohen's. And I made an edition to remake. At this point, when I had all the 8 female page and knight, it was not so difficult to complete the core cards with Visconti and Brambilla. You go by step. Then I remember Marilyn. I wasn't happy with her at that time because she made a video of comparing Visconti, comparing my Visconti with many Visconti, including a Modrone. I don't know why she's putting a Modrone with why. Actually, I didn't know very well that remake of Modrone. I have in my collection, but I didn't know it very well. I know better the old version completed by Scapini for US Games. And looking at this video, maybe I can do it. And I started, and then remember, I didn't know how many extra cards to make. And at a certain point, I made a fame card, I made a chastity. Then I didn't use them, but it was really a story of love for me. Then it was, you say, no, it's impossible, but you make small progress, and then suddenly find that the deck was there, and it's a deck that works. Of course, you have to accept that you have very famous cards like the Bagatto or the Papessa from Visconti Sforza. You may not accept this, and it's okay for me. I think it's better than making today a copy. I mean, I think it's better using other cards than what the other made. And so I'm very happy with this deck. Of course, I'm also happy with the Mitelli because the Rivoltini. But it's not the deck I love most. No, but it was productive. You upset me with that video, but I had the stimulus to.
It's motivated you, right? Motivated you to do better. Yeah.
Yes, at that moment I didn't know I could make the Modrone when I saw the video from Marin. So say this, but frankly, I think that Madenier and Vieville are beautiful deck. Of course, are not important because there are many versions of Vieville and Madeni. Of course, I think that mine are better, but this is a question. But I mean, they're not so important, like a deck that doesn't exist before, like the Virt or the Modrone, because I mean, a working Modrone didn't exist. It was so long this reply.
Mm-hmm.
What
Oh, so
people said, or did they comment? No.
what did they comment? Yeah, well, they also don't like my question. I think I got strong friends in the chat. Marilyn thinks it's an impossible task. And Catherine says that I love how you phrase the question, but it's tough. And yeah, so Marilyn saying they're all best for different reasons, which I agree, of course. But Sebastian is my friend here. Hold on, I'll just highlight. Yeah, number 1 is Atea, number 2 is Madrona, and number 3 is Charles 6. Yeah, Sebastian loves Italian decks. But then and Catherine, like if she had to pick, she would pick Michele for its colors. Right. And Cheryl thinks Etela, I should probably pronounce it, Etela was the top deck because of its historic value. Do you want to hear mine?
Sure.
Okay, so if my friends, who are only beginning to be interested in historic tarots, and that's kind of my logic, and I will only be choosing between the decks that you made in 2024, because otherwise it will be hard. If you look me out, like if you ask me for all-time decks, your Payen, Jean Payen 1743 is my favorite Marseille, but it was last year. You released it last year. So if people come to me and ask me, okay, so I want to get 1 or 2 historic decks, which decks I should get, I always suggest 1 illuminated tarot, 1 illuminated Italian, and 1 tarot de Marseille. So based on that, my bronze medal for 2024 will have to go to Marco Benedetti's personal Madrone. And not, I mean, I think in terms of beauty, it's probably number 1 most beautiful. But in terms of like reading the cards, and I'm a reader, right? For me, it kind of, I used it less than other deck that I will show you in the second place. But if people ask me if they can only have 2 historic decks, I would recommend absolutely the personal Madrone, because it's a complete deck. So it has historic value. It has frescoes that are from that time, and also you can read with the cards, and the backs are beautiful. And the illuminated tarot is absolutely, I mean, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's one of my treasures in my tarot collection, in my tarot library. So that's my number 3, although it's hard, right? For beauty, it could have been number 1, but I asked the question, I have to answer it. Let me see what other people saying, and maybe people will begin to rank after I begin. So Cheryl is saying, I've been reading Madania for 10 years. Now I only want to shuffle Marco's deck. The paper is so special. For Marilyn, Michele is a personal favorite. Yeah, Charles 6, Madrona, and Taylor. Also, Sebastian is saying Italian tarots are better for readers. To me too. And Marilyn agrees, ease of reading is an important feature. Yeah, so you made a Visconti deck, right? Visconti Madrona readable, right? So you made it not just as a collector item, important historically, Marco, but you made it as a good reader. Okay, my silver medal, number 2. Which Tarot de Marseille deck I would recommend? This is very easy, because if we're talking about 2024 decks, and Cheryl already answered this question for me, that would, of course, have to be Yerma Deniati. I mean, I've mentioned on my channel and probably on my Instagram, everywhere to my friends, that I think Pierre Madenier, out of historic Marseille tarots, is the most beautiful ever. It's very delicate. The stenciling is done lovely. It's such a beautiful deck, and it's historic. And I agree with Cheryl that in terms of shuffling, it really is special. I mean, yeah. And in terms of most used decks of this year, for me, it would probably be Madenier and Yopayen Marco. But I will explain why this one is the second spot, but definitely is the Marseille Tarot that I would recommend my friends. And actually, very often when people who want to get into Marseille ask me, I would recommend type 2 because it's more beautiful for people aesthetically to begin with. So Madenier is my second position for this year. Okay, let's just see. Sebastian, well, yeah, I will not stop. No apologies from me. No, this is actually one of the treasures in my collection, and as I said, is one of my favorite, definitely my favorite type 2 Tarot de Marseille. And now to the deck of the year.
The deck of the year.
Deck of the year. Can you guess mine, Marco?
Yes.
Yes, you can? Okay, tell me. Drum roll.
Mine, yeah.
No, you guess. Can you guess mine? Do you know what mine?
No, I have no idea what's your deck of the year.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. My gold medal for the year, the deck of the year for me, it's sort of like it's something that is very important to both card readers, enthusiasts, right? For those of us who not necessarily tarot collectors, but love learning about tarot history, but also it's about the whole package, right? So it's about the production, it's about the work that went into it. So my deck of the year is actually, yes, Eliphas Levy.
Oh, thank you.
Why? Well, because as I mentioned, it does have a Marseille inside of it, and the Marseille de Bernardine Suzanne inside of it has the most beautiful colors, and because for me it's actually a very sweet thing. Although I am not occult how I approach decks, Marco knows that I studied Hebrew at uni, so for me it's actually very sweet to see Hebrew letters written on the cards and the major arcana, which I will probably not find now because I've been using the tarot and I've been shuffling it. But also the colors are absolutely beautiful. Marco's execution of this, I call it set because it's not just one deck, is just beyond. And so the quality, the box, this handmade box book style, it just I think it's unbeatable. Let me show you a few more cards, just a few more majors. And I do actually very much like the personal drawings by Levy because of, again, the colors and just the images. It's just something to learn from. And I've been having so much fun learning about this tarot, researching this tarot. And then, of course, we have some references from the 5 cards from Alouette, from the playing card deck, Spanish cards, and 9 cards from an esoteric book that Levy used. So, yeah, that's for me have to be my deck of the year.
Wow. Wow.
Do you agree? I'll just highlight the comments. Jim was saying, I still hear Jim, that he became type 1 Tarot de Marseille. Yes, I'm for most part type 1, but I like type 2 as well. And for this year, Marco, you only made type 2, right? The Madenia Marseille. But my favorite, and I keep talking about everywhere to everyone, is Jean Payen, 1743.
Well, I prefer type 1 too, absolutely. Especially for one card, the moon. The moon the moon of type 1 is so much beautifuler, more beautiful than type 2, my opinion.
Yeah. But type 1 for me, like, yeah, in general readings, I would use
the carry shift. I mean, the moon, my opinion, but it's not the only reason to prefer the type 1. Of course, it's a matter of taste. I like the type 1 because they have harder drawing. Images are more sharp, while type 2 are more ornated, more gentle.
Yeah, this is from your pie and from the.
Yes, I think it's more expressive, the type 1.
And I like when moon also faces straight ahead at us. Yeah, so I will say Levy. Well, Marilyn can see why Levy is my number one winner. It's stunning. Nikki, which deck do you need? The Levy or the Payen? It's a Cherish deck for sure. Harder to read, but a great fascination for me. Yeah, but that's what I like about Marilyn, right? We do have a Tarot de Marseille, and hopefully Marco will make the Bernardine Suzanne deck.
Yes, Marco, what?
I think it's about for type 1 that you prefer type 1, that the moon face, the moon is more
Yes, I agree with, yes,
yeah.
yes. I think we all agree that type 1 is better. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think people on the chat here, yes, we are here with friends who share the same opinions. Yeah. But look, with type 1, we don't really have that many type 1 decks, right? So we have, well, now we have, of course, Yves Vachier, we have Nablé, Dodal, 2 Payens, right? Different patterns. Navarro as well, Navarro.
Sorry?
Navarro is type 1 as well.
Navarro, yes.
Yeah, but Navarro is like Italian type 1. Yeah.
Yes, colors are Italians, yes. Yeah, the color, it was colored by a person who didn't know the convention of standard Marseille tarot. But that's why what makes this deck special, of course. Otherwise, it would be just an old wood block by Jean Payen recycled. You know, while Vacher is the same wood block of Jean-Pierre Payen, Navarro is the same wood block of Jean Payen, or vice versa. I don't remember. Anyway, the two Payen.
Yeah. Video ideas for us to make, but yes, Marco's role is shown too. While I'm here, I can probably show. I'm a Marseille girl, so ask me about Tarot de Marseille. You will never see the end of it. I don't know if you noticed my face.
Rolichon, of course.
I've got everything. So, Marco, you know our friend Anne, right? Anne Fort. Yeah,
sure.
So you see, Anne made these little 2 cute teddy bears for me, and why? When Anne influenced me in a way to be wanting the Navarro Tarot because it's one of Anne's favorites. And when she shared little teddy bears, I told her that the Nablé is this one and Navarro is this one. So this is Navarro and this is Nablé. So yes, that. I've got not only I'm obsessed with Tarot de Marseille, I've got teddy bear sitting on my Marseille decks corresponding. But I'll show you if you haven't seen if you haven't seen the bright colors of Navarro.
Anna even got a backup copy of the Navarro.
Yes, she told me, yeah.
No, she's lovely. She wrote a letter, really moving, saying she's really a lovely person.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah, very kind and generous. But with Navarro, I love also, how I love teal colors, cyans, teals, green, blues, and oranges, burnt oranges. And this tarot is wonderful for that. And here, Fabbrica di Aneglia.
Oneglia.
Yeah, so it's in Italian, Marseille tarot, which is very rare. And it's probably, you were saying that it's possibly the last type 1 tarot de Marseille, right?
It's possible. I don't know on any old younger type 1.
Yeah, so that's Navarro. And both and Catherine and Cheryl, they mentioned the Rolishon. And Rolishon is great. I think Cheryl mentioned it for reading, right? Yeah, you read with it a lot. Yeah, because it's just so sharp and crisp, the Rolishon. And I do
Yes,
love the
yes.
backs. You see, like they're more these crosses, but they're purple, dark purple.
Well, it was I didn't invent the back. It was in the few existing cards they had the back. No, it was an excuse to make a few changes to Tarot de Marseille that I wanted to do, like the full or the page of coins that I don't like with the name on the bar. Yes, the full and it's not censored. Otherwise, if we say that the only deck with the fat bottom of the full not censored is Noble, if a deck is older, we suppose that it should be yes. Yes, you see the like in, the name down, and I made very little changes in the standard color. Basically, it's the same colors of Payen with really few changes. But uh, well, I want to make a deck with the flat colors. I mean, like a commercial deck. Commercial deck that have the colors this
Like
way.
the primary colors, yeah.
Yes. And in this kind, I think is a good deck. Of course, it has not the charm of a Payen with the stenciled colors. It's another product, but there's people who prefer to have a deck with clean lines, with the more important is colors that don't blow out of the lines.
Yeah, but you see, like I love both, and you know, when I do my tarot studies and journaling, I actually I do my card reading with like clean decks like this one, and then I take a picture and then I print it and then I cut it and put it in my journal. So for my journal, I actually prefer the clean copies because you know it's like copying the deck on the printer, my basic printer at home, and then yeah, and then gluing it in my journal. I need to have very clean lines and clean colors, you know. So that's kind of there's a good use for that as well, especially like as a study deck to look for details and lines. Yeah. So yeah. And Catherine loves your Rolishon. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
Very funny. Yep. Navarro says hello. I just said that too. And Sebastian is saying some comments like, yeah, at Christmas, well, only the trumps from the French artist that also makes. I didn't know. Only Eve makes the Vashia, isn't it?
No. He's saying another thing. He said that he got the Rolishon made by a guy that I don't name, who lives in France. I don't name him because I don't remember his name. Not that I don't want is something that is a young card maker. He make a Rolishon with the colors of the Vacher. I mean, he used
Okay.
use violet instead of blue.
Okay, got it.
For the record, of course, I know that theoretically decks before 1701 should have the violet and not blue. I also tried to make the Rolchon with violet, but I really didn't like, so I make it traditional blue. Then there was, well, it's not the moment, it's too late also to make polemize on the story of the violet. It should be in the decks of the 17th century. Well,
Yes, we're just talking
Florence,
about the
yes.
French guy. Yeah.
Well, if it's true, there are two possibilities. Or it's not true. Not true that all the decks in 17th century had violet and not blue, or the only existing noble was made after 1701. There are no other possibilities. If you want, if you ask me, is for sure the Vacher the oldest existing known Tarot de Marseille? I said, as a complete deck, for sure, yes, because it's the only one with violet. We have few other cards with violet at Bibliothèque Nationale. There is a beautiful chariot, an hermit in a judgment, probably by Jean-Pierre Payen. But speaking of full decks, the only Tarot de Marseille with violet and not blue is the Vacher, period. Then, if you want, I think that the date is the less probably the one written, because if someone wanted to modify a wood block in a clumsy way, because it was made by an incompetent person, for writing a date, it's quite probable that the original date was different, maybe even older, because we don't know why it was modified. Now we like the idea that it was the older. Maybe at the time he wanted to make it younger, to say that it wasn't an old deck made by someone else. I don't know. We don't know. I only say that 1639 or 36 is the least likely date, real date for the deck. But I'm sure that is the oldest TDM existing, because
But I'm curious. Yeah, Marco.
If it's true that violet was used before 1701, the only existing noble was made before, after. It's not made in 17th century. We have to discuss this. I mean, it's not a problem for me. It doesn't change what it was made before or after 1701. But facts are facts. So, or it's true, the story of the violet, or it's not.
Yeah, well, you see, like, I'm not a historian or expert, like, I can't comment, but my question is, the Viville, Viville Tarot is also dated around what they're dating Jean Noblet. Does Viville have purple colors or not?
Noblet?
No, Noblet and like they said, Noblet is from 1650s roughly, right?
Yes.
And Viville, Jacques Viville Tarot is also from 1650s. Does Viville have purple?
I'm saying that, or it's not true that before 1701 all the decks were made with violet and not with blue, or if it is true, as I think it is true, the only existing copy of Noblet was made in 18th century with a wood block of 17th, but it was made after 1701. I'm sorry for people who want to think that it's the older tarot because they base their stupid story on Kabbalah. I'm sorry. It's blue, it's not violet. Period. It's not my problem. I don't care. What
I think like Ross can't volunteer in the police. They should just write an article about that, so we can really kind of have, yeah, to discuss that, because I
I
don't know.
know about
But
it
why
a
do you
lot.
think, Marco, question, yeah, why do you think nobody publishes this information about like colors? I mean, I know that Eve published a little bit, and well, Thierry de Police, when he wrote an article about the Vashie, he talked about purples, right? Before 1701, whatever, before 18th century, he talked about purples. But why don't they like write a proper paper about just kind of explaining things to us like you did? Anyway, so yeah, Sebastian saying effect is effect. And with the time purple
Oh,
could have wishful thinking, making
I
excuses.
can do it with a filter with computer, but
I can do it with my phone, change blue into purple.
yes,
Anyway, hold on, Nikki.
I
What
don't
is
think
Nikki
so.
saying? Hugely interesting if deemed to be true. And Marilyn says that she learned so much from you, Marco. All right, so friends in the chat, do you have any more questions left? I think we've discussed a lot today. We've covered pretty much all the decks that we wanted to cover. So let us know if you have any questions. I'll just highlight the comments for you, Marco, as well, if you want to comment
I
on
want
anything.
to this is must to be clear here. One thing is the deck intended of the wood blocks. I prepare a deck. When I prepare a deck for me, what are 13 files with 6 cards per page, for instance. This is the deck. The deck 300 years ago were 7 wood blocks. 7 wood blocks. This is the deck. This wood block is for sure very old, but the only existing copy was at least colored. The colors and stencil were made after 1701. I'm saying then I agree that the drawing are older, but I mean we are playing with dates on the 2 of coins that you have seen that are not so important. I mean, we have seen the same wood block reappearing 100 years later with another. Yes, so
Just that's the
one
point,
thing,
right? You're trying to make that's the example,
one
yeah.
thing is the edition. I mean, we are mixing edition with creation. I mean, I write a book in this year, 10 years later, they republish. But the book of 10 years later, the edition is now. I say the edition of the only Noble was made after 1701. Otherwise, it's not true that before 1701 they used a violet. It's
Yeah,
only.
that's a good point. Yeah,
Nobody's offended by this. Is a fact.
yeah. No, it's a great observation. Yeah, and you're right. You see, like that's the thing. Like what we see now. Well, I mean, with my little, like I'm not an expert. Again, not claiming to be, but how the wood blocks are identical, right? And we here with 1639 and almost 100 years later, right? 1743 or 80 years later. Yeah, and you said like we see the same pattern, and I'm not gonna pull the other payen, but with Navarro being. What's the dating of Navarro? 18 something like, right?
1850 about.
Yeah, around mid 1850s. And then we have 1713, right? The Jean-Pierre Payen that, potentially the wood blocks would have been the
Yes,
same.
always at least 100 years later. Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting
Yes,
point to keep in
that's
mind
the
when
point.
examining and doing
Edition
comparison.
versus creation. That's exactly the point I'm making on Noble. But I mean, it's possible that after Noble died, that the woodblock were used by someone else. Why
But
not?
we know that they were passed on, they were sold, they were bought, they traveled.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
And
see
of
what
course,
Sherry
Noble is
has.
older as a drawing. It's obvious that Noble is an oldest
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, doesn't upset me in the least. Yeah, me neither.
Anyway, any more questions? No.
No, just more comments. I'm just saying, like Cheryl said, that the what you shared about Nable doesn't upset her. But for me, it's exciting. Those discoveries and those kind of, kind of noticing those things is very exciting for me, being an enthusiast, and I love learning. And for me, it's just something to look at in the future as well, when observing different decks of the same tradition, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So Michael is saying so many unsolved mysteries of the tarot.
Yeah.
Yeah, arcana, eh? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Sebastian. Yeah, I think we answered everything, all the comments and all the questions, Marco. Are you proud of me? I didn't
Well,
mention time.
to our 15, we have destroyed our poor listener.
Well, but you told me don't look at the clock.
No, we don't. If we
I
repeat,
believe that you don't look at the clock. But thank you so much to all of you, our friends who stayed with us, and of course, people will be
it was
watching
really
back.
a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And of course, Marco, you stay for our chat after. But yeah, Happy New Year to you all, and exciting things coming from Marco soon. And I can't wait for the Sarton as well. And all the upcoming decks. Bordoni. I'm voting for Bordoni, Marco. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the dream would be come true.
I'm very excited for the Bordoni too, of course.
Yeah, the colors are so beautiful as well. It's just a sweet deck, and the size will be smaller. Just on your paper, perfect delight. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody who joined.
Thank you for
Joined.
hosting me. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and with our friends.
Yeah,
Well, we can talk again when you want. For me, it's always a pleasure.
yeah.
Uh,
No, it's like it's always for me. I'm
soon,
just.
yours and Marilyn review of Sarton. You both have in the mail. So be merciful with the Sarton. Please. Joking.
Well,
Okay.
from what you've showed us, I mean, it will be very easy to be merciful about
No,
certain.
you must be severe.
Yeah. So let me just
Merciless,
quickly highlight.
merciless reviews.
So I'll
Okay.
just quickly highlight the last comments, and then thank you so much, everybody, for your kind comments and for being here and supporting our conversation. I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Yes, I understand that.
So you see, Marco, that's what Sebastian is saying. That's how I will feel when you begin making the Bordoni. So my feeling in the future. Yeah.
Okay. So, good night to everyone.
Well, good morning to me. Yeah.
Good
I mean,
morning.
it was just.
Yes, of course. Good morning for you. Good afternoon to all our American friends. Carol
Yeah.
arrived late. Carol, late.
Yeah, it will be on the playback. Once we stop the video, will be
All
there in the comments. The live
Carol.
chat will come through. All right. Yeah. So, of course, Marco, grazie. Thank you so much for your time and for always being so
You?
supportive. And I mean, not just to me, but all of us, all of us in the chat with all our questions. And when we reach out to you, it's kind of your work means really the world to us, tarot enthusiasts, collectors, and readers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao.
And we'll do it sometime soon. Ciao, everyone. Bye.
Ciao.
Much love to you all. Ciao, tutti.